Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. So, if you've been watching this insane, rapid evolution of artificial intelligence and wondering, how on earth do I actually harness this for myself? Well, you are in the perfect place. Today, we are breaking down the absolute ultimate guide to leverage. I want you to imagine having the output capacity of like a 10-person tech agency, but it's literally just you, your laptop, and maybe a good cup of coffee on starting a highly profitable one-person AI business in 2026. And honestly, here is the absolute best part of all this. You can do this even if you have zero coding experience. None. We're going to unpack exactly how you can use AI not just as some fun weekend toy, but as the actual underlying engine of a legitimate business. We've distilled all 4 hours of that dense material into a clean, 5-step business-in-a-box blueprint. We'll cover 1. The 2026 AI landscape. 2. Your AI operating system. 3. Landing your first clients. 4. Delivering AI services. And 5. Pricing your AI business. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The 2026 AI landscape. Adapting to the new world. Okay, let's dive into this. Because look, to build a successful business today, you really have to understand the environment you're operating in, right? The rules of work have fundamentally changed. Adapting to this new world isn't just a nice little advantage anymore. It is an absolute necessity for survival. 90%. By building the right systems, you can automate 90% of your work right from inside Cloud Code. I mean, just think about what that actually means for one-person business for a second. It means you get to keep the low overhead, the agility, the total freedom of a solopreneur, but you get this incredible agency-level output. You aren't just doing the work a little bit faster, you are literally delegating the heavy lifting to an AI that never, ever sleeps. The excitement curve. So in the pre-AI past, business was pretty linear. Your effort equaled your output. Now, right now in the present, we are in the adapting phase. People are kind of figuring out these tools, but honestly, most people are still just using AI as a glorified chatbot to write, mediocre emails or plan their grocery lists. But if you can push through this current adapting phase and reach mastery in the future, you put yourself miles ahead of the competition. Getting in early on these specific AI business models creates this massive moat around your skills. While everyone else is still typing basic prompts, you're going to be operating entire automated ecosystems. Moving on to Section 2, your AI operating system, building your tech stack. Now, if you don't have a computer science degree, just take a deep breath. It's totally fine. You are learning to be a manager here, not a coder. Heavily emphasizes this concept of the AIOS, the Artificial Intelligence Operating System. Think of this as your own personal integrated digital environment that is built specifically to automate your business tasks. It's not just one single app, it's a connected web of tools that all talk to each other. Your AIOS basically acts as your digital office, your project manager, and your lead developer all rolled into one. It is absolutely the foundation of a modern one-person business in 2026. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what that looks like in practice. This pipeline is super clean and totally non-intimidating. First, you use Visual Studio Code. This is literally just a free program where your work lives, like a blank canvas. Second, you integrate Claude Code right into it. This becomes your AI brain. Third, you install Claude Skills, which basically teaches your AI brain how to perform specific tasks. Think of it like giving it a digital tool belt. And finally, GitHub acts as your digital filing cabinet to store and deploy all the work. That's the whole shebang. You aren't writing the code yourself, you're just setting up the room for Claude to do the coding for you. All right, Section 3, landing your first clients, the dual engine approach. Because having a great tech setup doesn't actually make you a business, right? Having paying customers does. The core of this is balancing inbound versus outbound marketing. On the inbound side, he recommends Upwork. These are warm leads. These are people actively searching for someone to solve their technical problems. You set up your profile and you let them come to you. On the outbound side, though, you take a much more proactive, aggressive stance using a tool called Instantly AI to send automated cold emails. You're actively reaching out to businesses at scale, offering to solve inefficiencies they might not even realize they have. Think about it. You aren't just sitting around waiting for the phone to ring, you're sending out hundreds of tailored pitches while you sleep. Combining these two methods creates a relentless client-getting machine, a highly resilient sales pipeline. Upwork gives you those early wins to build up your portfolio and your confidence, while your Instantly AI cold email campaigns are just humming along in the background to secure your future stability. It builds this completely scalable pipeline of clients and ensures you are never, ever desperately waiting for your next paycheck. Which brings us to Section 4, delivering AI services, the 3 levels of delivery. Now, what's really interesting about this is It tackles the elephant in the room. I know the central question that every non-technical person is secretly worrying about right now. How do I build full web apps or business systems if I have literally zero experience? You've landed the client, they've paid the invoice, and now you actually have to deliver the thing. Cue the panic, right? 3 very manageable tiers so you never get overwhelmed. Level 1 is websites. These are relatively straightforward and highly requested. A great place to start. Once you master that, you move up to level 2, automations. This might be building a system that automatically sends a booking text if a client misses a phone call from a customer. You're just connecting different software tools together to save your client's time. And finally, you graduate to level 3, full AI systems. These are complex, custom web apps powered by artificial intelligence. You just scale up your offerings naturally as your confidence grows. But here is the ultimate tension reliever, the real game changer. You aren't building it. Claude Code builds it for you. Because you set up your AIOs back in step 2, you simply give Claude plain English instructions, and it writes the complex code. No way, right? Yes way, using Go High Level, which is a platform designed to let you easily visually map out business automations. Your lack of traditional coding experience is completely irrelevant here, because you are acting as the architect, while the AI acts as your construction crew. And finally, Section 5, pricing your AI business, closing the deal. Let's move to and see how this builds, because this is the most lucrative part of the blueprint. How do you actually charge? Well, your pricing scales directly with the value you provide. Websites are your entry-level cash flow, great for getting started, but lower in relative value. Automations are your medium tier, and these are fantastic because they often lead to monthly recurring revenue, since clients will pay you to maintain those systems that are saving them hours every single week. But full AI systems, that is your high-ticket offering. You can charge absolute premium prices here because you are fundamentally transforming how a business operates. You're drastically reducing their costs and massively increasing their output. Sell the result, not the process. You have to speak to clients with absolute confidence. They do not care that you are using Claude Code or GitHub. Honestly, their eyes will completely glaze over if you start talking about your tech stack. What they care about is that you can save them 20 hours a week, reduce their manual data entry, and ultimately help them make more money. You are selling the outcome of the AIO, not the nuts and bolts. To sum up everything we've covered from this incredible masterclass, automate 90% of your work from inside Claude Code. That right there is the secret to the 2026 one-person business. It's not about working 90% harder. It is about creating ultimate business leverage. You let AI do the heavy lifting, which frees you up to focus on strategy, client relationships, and scaling your income. So I will leave you with this final thought. We are currently in the middle of the greatest technological shift of our generation. The tools are here, the blueprint is totally laid out, and the barrier to entry has quite literally never been lower for those who are just willing to learn the systems. The only question left is, are you ready to adapt to the 2026 AI economy and start building your own one-person business? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I hope you are leaving energized and ready to build. See you next time.